Hello, good evening or good morning whenever you choose to watch this. My name is Hunter Morris, and for my International Stadiums project, I've selected the Estadio Alberto Armando, or as it is more commonly known, La Bombonera. It is an iconic stadium in the world of soccer, known for its fan culture and for its architecture, and it is a must see spot and a bucket list item for most soccer fans around the world, but it is relatively unknown to fans in the United States. So, some basic information about La Bombonera. It is located in Buenos Aires, Argentina. It opened in 1940, with construction beginning earlier in 1938. La Bombonera, the name that it is most commonly known by, translates to the chocolate box, referring to the stadium's architecture. This originates from sort of an old folk tale about the owner of the stadium when it was built, who received a chocolate box and kind of held it up to the stadium. It currently holds a capacity of roughly 49,000, but this is an approximate capacity because most of its sections are standing room only. So on packed match days, they can fit in a little more, pushing its capacity to 53 or 54,000. So its primary tenant is a soccer team called Club Atletico Boca Juniors, named after the Boca neighborhood in which they reside. It doesn't host a lot of events aside from soccer, but it does house a museum of soccer history, and it has hosted some concerts over the years. These include Lenny Kravitz and Elton John, but they are infrequent, and when it does host a concert, it is a major deal around the area. La Bombonera has also famously hosted matches for the Argentine national soccer team, but only in World Cup qualifiers and friendly matches. The reason for this is because its attendance is quite a bit smaller than some of the more famous stadiums in the region. So while it is an iconic venue, there are stadiums that can fit more people, so it has been barred from hosting tournaments such as the 1978 World Cup and the Copa America. Though in its matches for Argentina, it has hosted Lionel Messi, Sergio Aguero, and Diego Maradona, who also played for Boca Juniors. The stadium was constructed for the equivalent of $2 million US, which adjusted to inflation would be 46 million today. The stadium was constructed in 1938. It was purchased and funded privately by the club's owners, and it still remains in their possession today, so they don't have to pay rent to the city or anything. The stadium was designed and finished by architect Victor Solčić 2 years after the land was purchased, and it is known for its box-style seating, which is placed vertically along a roadside due to space constraints. So it's a little hard to explain, but there is a wall of seating that are basically all suites all the way up for hundreds of feet, just because there isn't place to put an entire stand there, and it would be too steep to have seating. So there are plans to renovate it soon, but buying land from local homeowners can be difficult. Boca Juniors still says that this project is in the works, but it is an architecturally taxing endeavor. So the dimensions of the pitch are quite interesting because soccer is somewhat unique in that you can change the size of your field based on space constraints up to 120 by 75 meters, but the pitch at La Bombonera is the absolute minimum at 105 by 68 meters or 114 by 74 yards. It also has extremely steep stands, as I mentioned a minute ago, so as they've tried to add on another tier to the stadium to increase its capacity, this has presented challenges because the stands could be dangerously steep in order to fit into the stadium's profile. However, because of this, the stadium's profile in the city is pretty low, and it doesn't harm its surroundings. It's existed for many decades, and the locals are quite familiar with it. As for transportation, the recommended way to access the stadium is through the bus stops on lines 24, 64, 86, and 152. There's no official parking lot and no direct subway stop, so fans are encouraged to take an Uber or a taxi or walk from a further subway stop. La Bombonera is famous for its atmosphere and unique architecture, particularly through the Superclásico game between River Plate and Boca, which are Argentina's biggest clubs. They are known for using ribbons and pyrotechnics, massive banners in the crowd, as you can see in this picture here. If you're looking to plan a trip to La Bombonera, I would stay at La Adresse Hotel Boutique or El Filiberto for relatively cheap within walking distance when visiting the stadium. The Boca neighborhood is known for El Caminito, which is a famous street and outdoor museum known for its artwork and bright colors. And here are my references. Thank you.